Cuyahoga County Council regular meeting for Tuesday, February 25th, 2025 will please come to order. Before we begin our meeting, I'd like to remind everyone that we welcome your input and respect your right to voice your opinion. However, this council has a right and responsibility to maintain and enforce content-neutral rules of decorum. Members of the public are invited to attend and speak only under the rules set by this body. We expect speakers and members of the audience to abide by these rules. We recently witnessed several rule violations over the past few meetings, including heckling and outbursts from the audience and hostile remarks directed to others in the audience. These violations of council rules were disrespectful to those attempting to share their views during public comment, distracting to our members and those in attendance, and disruptive to the proceedings. If you witness someone directing aggressive or threatening remarks to another person in attendance, please notify one of the sheriff's deputies. This meeting of County Council is a lawful meeting, and violation of these rules constitutes a disruption in violation of state and local criminal statutes. I'm putting everyone on notice that individuals who violate these rules, including audible outbursts during the Pledge of Allegiance, will be subject to removal by sheriff's deputies and may be subject to arrest. If we have repeated or continuous disruptions, we may need to recess and clear the council chambers, at which all members of the public may be required to leave the building and may access the meeting once it resumes via live stream. Tonight we'll hear from up to 30 speakers who have signed up, who will be selected at random. Again, we will be strictly adhering to the 2-minute time limit. When you hear the bell, please conclude your comments by finishing your sentence within 5 seconds. Finally, at the request of the Sheriff's Department, we ask that attendees please take a seat during the meeting and not loiter in the aisles or at the back of the chamber. The clerk will please call the roll.
Good afternoon. As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. Schlepper. Here. Ms. Conwell.
Present.
Mr. Jones.
Here.
Ms. Turner.
Present.
Mr. Hauser.
Here.
Ms. Simon.
Here.
Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
Mr. Castleberry.
Here.
Council President Miller.
Present.
You have a quorum.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would now like to invite everyone to please join in a moment of silent personal reflection. Thank you very much. Do we have anybody signed in for public comment?
Pamela Goodwin.
Hi, good evening. My name is Pamela Goodwin, and I've been a resident of Cuyahoga County for nearly 45 years. I'd like to begin by respectfully thanking you, members of council, for all your hard work on behalf of all local residents. Next, I'd like to respectfully acknowledge the law enforcement support in this room and outside of it, who have been here at this meeting and at prior meetings. And it's my understanding that the additional staffing at the last session was to assure that all attendees felt comfortable and safe here, which was not the case at the meeting prior to that one. Sadly, this coverage must mean that the county has to incur extra expenses, especially at a time when a budget deficit has been cited and is being addressed. To that point, I appreciate you acting in fiscally responsible ways, and for the same reason, I appreciate your prior investments in Israel bonds, and I implore you to continue to invest in Israel bonds at such time as budgeting opportunities allow it. We know definitively that the county's decision to pause all future long-term investments at this time is in no way political in nature, even though there may be those who come up to this microphone and might believe that this is invalidation of a hateful agenda and use harassing tactics. We know that this is a financial issue, and we hope that you will continue to invest in Israel bonds at such time as that will allow. Thank you very much.
Jack Bessie.
Hi, members of the council. I wanted to thank you for the opportunity to come speak. It's my first time here, so hopefully it'll be okay.
Mr. Bessie, if you would state your name for the record, please.
Jack Besson.
Thank you.
I thought it would be very important to come. My teacher did serve in the Israeli army. He's been here before to come talk and basically give ourselves a voice. And I do thank you guys for the opportunity to vocalize for myself on behalf of my school, on behalf of the Jewish community in Cleveland, all over Cuyahoga County. Adding on to the prior speaker, we obviously acknowledge and recognize the fact that this was in no means political and that it is financial, but we do also ask to reconsider and continue when the time is right. So, thank you.
Good job.
Brad Schlang.
Good afternoon. My name is Brad Schlang, a Cuyahoga County resident. And to the anti-Israel representatives behind me, I say congratulations. You've won. You've bullied the county to divest from Israel bonds. $3 million of the county's highest income generating investments will go away, reducing funds available to serve the county's most vulnerable by $90,000 per year. Fact check it. Israel bonds currently yield well over 5%, and the rest of the county's investments yield about 2%. That 3% difference on $3 million is $90,000 per year. So over the next 6 years, over $500,000 won't be available to serve children, the elderly, and the sick. And so to you, I say congratulations, you've won. You should keep going. That incremental 3% interest on the full $16 million the county has prudently invested in Israel bonds generates an additional $480,000 each year for Cuyahoga County. To you on council, you all know that the money the council is investing in Israel bonds is not a gift to Israel. It's an investment, a prudent investment. An investment that has always been repaid timely so that the county can use that $16 million in addition to the interest to benefit county residents. The residents of Cuyahoga County request that you reinvest in Israel bonds so you can continue to meet your fiduciary duty to invest taxpayer dollars in the investments that will best serve the needs of the residents of the county and not the agenda of the people behind me. Thank you very much.
Norman Edwards.
Good afternoon. My name is Norman Edwards, president of the Black Contractors Group and the American Center for Economic Equality. I'm here with my concerns on the new jail and the other projects that are going forward in the county to make sure that because of the DEI is up in the air, that we still have inclusion on these projects going forward. Juvenile detention home, the old one is getting ready to be torn down. We have the new jail in Garfield Heights that's getting ready to be built. We've still built up no wealth. I've been coming down here for over 25 years, 25 years, talking about the same problem that the black and minority community has. Front companies get a little piece of the change. The legitimate black contractors they don't want to use to share the funds. We are not, I was born right behind Charity Hospital, 2641 Short Scoville in the projects. We are not going to let these people come in from even outside of the county, take our money. We still pay taxes. We're still human beings, and we are still treated beneath being treated as equal. So I'm giving everybody fair warning. You're going to need the same security that you have on the job site. So hire extra security. Black people are not going to take it no more. We're tired. We're tired of being broke. We're tired of begging. We don't need the robberies and the crime that's going on out there, and it can be reduced. I have put a lot of people in the unions. We've trained them, working with the unions, and put them to work. You have the contractors, and a lot of them are Trumpsters, okay, that have totally, they don't want us to be a part of it. They don't want us to grow. The banks don't want to extend us credit lines. They don't want to give us bonds because of the color of our skin. We must come together and unite and do better. Thank you.
Bert Rapowitz.
Good evening. My name is Hillard Lazarus. I've been a resident of Cuyahoga County for more than 50 years. In recent weeks, we have come to this meeting to thank the members of the Cuyahoga County Council for your service and for your commitment to the Jewish community and to Cuyahoga County residents by investing in Israel bonds, a sound investment. Tonight, we're here to express our concerns regarding the ambiguity of Cuyahoga County's decision to pause all future investments. We understand that this decision in no way was made because of political issues. However, some of the individuals at this meeting may believe that this approach validates a hateful agenda and endorses harassing tactics. Those individuals who have called both you and us terrorists, genociders, and racists apparently have come here to celebrate the fact that our public officials must deal with cash flow issues, which affects our money and may necessitate a halt to long-term investments. We sincerely hope that you can rectify the serious financial issue and remain committed to reinvesting in Israel bonds and continue to support the communities you represent, as well as standing up to those who may celebrate the Council's budget deficit and the hatred against Jews. Thank you for your time and interest in this matter.
Okay. Bert Rapowitz.
Thank you. My name is Bert Rapowitz. I'm a member of a past U.S. Army veteran, a United States citizen, and a proud resident here of Cuyahoga County. And I want to thank you folks for investing in Israel bonds in the past. It's a wise investment, as you've heard many times. It pays a good rate of interest. Every bond, the interest is paid on time, and when the bond comes due, it is fully paid immediately. On a very personal note, I have been a supporter of Israel bonds my adult life, my entire adult life, and I'm not a kid anymore, so I go back a lot of years. and I've always considered it good investment. I wouldn't ask you to do something that I myself wouldn't do, and you're doing it, and we appreciate your support and continued support. Thank you.
Tylo Tien, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Tylo Tien. Hard to read. Tylo Turan.
Hello, my name is Tyler Tehran. I'm a member of Cleveland DSA and a proud supporter of standing in solidarity with my Palestinian and Jewish comrades. To quote the late, great Michael Brooks, it's not a complex issue. That's the big thing. It's super simple. There's one group that has enormous power. It's the most powerful country in the Middle East. It's backed by the United States. It acts on another population of people with a total impunity, and it's never held accountable for anything. I think that changes now. Israel is being held accountable by CPAC and groups that care about folks who are being acted upon in Gaza, in the West Bank, without accountability. I'm going to be perfectly clear that this is absolutely a political decision. It's not a financial one. Whatever you guys need to tell yourselves to appease whoever you want to appease. This is a direct result of organization and folks caring about their community and their comrades and their families and coming together and pressuring you and holding you guys accountable. I find it disgusting that folks say that it's harassment. I would say that it's accountability and it's free speech, and we're allowed to be here and we're allowed to say what we think. I think you guys did a good job freezing the bonds, and we're going to keep coming back and holding you guys accountable to make sure that money doesn't go back to Israel bonds and it goes back into the community, because we want to see that happen, and we're not going to stop. Free Palestine.
Josiah Quarles.
My name is Josiah Quarles. I'm the Director of Organizing and Advocacy at Northeast Ohio Coalition for the Homeless. Thank you for the time to speak. First of all, I'd like to thank Councilwoman Conwell for the role that she played in making sure that seasonal shelter was able to be opened before the polar vortex kind of descended upon us. It is now pretty much at capacity, and we need more, but it's very important for community. The second thing I'd like to say today is that I'm not sure if all of you are aware, or certainly not everybody in the audience, but we just had another death in our jail. And it was not it's not a death that resulted from the building itself. And so while we have put the burden of $4 billion on the taxpayers of Cuyahoga County for the next 40 years to talk about this particular piece of infrastructure, we still have people who are arrested by private police, like the Cleveland Clinic, sent to the county jail. A judge says that they are unfit to stand trial and need long-term care before they can do so. That care is not available. They are then returned to the jail and then die in the jail. They did not die because of the jail. They died because we refused to invest in the care that our community needs. And that's just flat out. And so whether it's that whether it's that $4 billion there or whether it's $16 million going to Israel bonds, we do not need to be spending the money in the ways that we are. We have a future that you fiscally understand is in danger, is in threat. And it is because we have been complacent in the issues. We have seeded the issues consistently so that retrograde and reactive folks can take these issues and leverage them against the very populations that are in need, those that have been divested in consistently over centuries in this country. Thank you.
Mark Freemuth.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Council. My name is Mark Freemuth. I've been a resident of Cuyahoga County for over 50 years. As others of my colleagues have said, I want to join in thanking you for your public service and for your willingness to give attention to the issue, particularly concerning Israel bonds, that has been before you and talked about ad nauseum, and taken your time away from other priorities for well over a year. My understanding is that the county currently invests approximately $16 million in Israel bonds and has no other investments in foreign bonds, and that approximately $3 million of those bonds is going to mature within a week. You've already heard and you know that Israel bonds have long been regarded as a safe and sound investment, and you've heard about the returns that are better than returns that the county receives from most of its other investments. Despite the charade of prohibiting, of advocating non-investment in all foreign bonds, the resolution that was originally introduced at the council last year and later withdrawn is clearly part and parcel of the what is called the BDS movement, boycott, divestment, and sanctions, an effort to cause various business and nonprofit entities and governmental entities to cease doing business with Israel. At the moment, the issue apparently is coming down to the reinvestment of the $3 million that is going to mature in the next week. We understand from at least what I've read in the news that this is due to financial considerations. As you've heard, that is not how it's going to be viewed by other members of the community. It is going to be viewed as a political victory for those who support the BDS movement and who are anti-Israel. I urge you to hopefully find a way to continue that investment in Israel bonds. Thank you for your time and attention.
David Pearl.
Hello, my name is David Pearl. I'm a registered representative for Israel Bonds here in Cleveland. Good evening, members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I want to emphasize why continuing to invest in Israel bonds is not just a sound financial decision, but a commitment to economic stability, innovation, and strong international partnerships. Israel bonds does meet the requirements in the Ohio Revised Code for your requirements to invest in foreign bonds, so that's very strong. I would like everyone to know, I said this a couple weeks ago when I was here and had the opportunity, thankfully, to say that our own treasurer, the state of Ohio, purchased $35 million of Israel bonds February 1st, and they have total investments over $262 million. I don't believe that our state treasurer would be doing that if they didn't feel that Israel bonds are a sound financial investment. Every investment in Israel bonds is important, whether it's $36 or $3 million. Every dollar counts. First and foremost, Israel bonds offer a competitive investment. Israel has never defaulted on its obligations, even through global financial crises and regional challenges. The county's economy is resilient with a strong track record of responsible fiscal management. For Cuyahoga County, that means a reliable return on investment that directly benefits our taxpayers. Our investment sends a powerful message of support for a trusted ally and a democracy in the Middle East. Israel is a strategic partner of the United States, and by continuing our investment, we strengthen the economic and diplomatic ties that benefit both our nations. Cuyahoga County has a proud history of smart investments, and Israel bonds align with the values of fiscal responsibility and global engagement. And this has kind of become, even though it's only the second time I'm using my tagline, I urge you to continue this commitment because it just makes sense. Thank you.
Basma Hamid.
Hello, good evening. My name is Basma Hamid. I'm a resident of Cuyahoga County for 35 years. Congratulations on freezing $3 million from being reinvested in Israeli bonds, and hopefully more to come. It is one step being taken in the right direction towards uplifting our communities to be safer, better living conditions, more affordable housing for everybody. Now we can look at improving our school systems as a whole and make childcare affordable to everybody in the state of Ohio. Without income verification, our highways and roads are all have potholes everywhere and need fixing. After the harsh winter we have just had, I'm hereby asking you that we need the rest of the funds assigned to be reinvested in Israeli bonds to be frozen as well, for more uplifting of our communities as a whole. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thank you.
Sean Abbott Clafter.
My name is Sean Abbott Clafter. I'm a member of Cleveland Jewish Voice for Peace, and I'm excited to be here tonight and to be able to speak to so many of my Jewish brothers and sisters, in particular, all the young folks who are here. It's great to see you. I haven't seen you all here before, but you're participating in the civic process, and it's a beautiful thing. And you know, I used to be a teacher, so I do want to try to provide a little bit of background and context for what's happening here. So firstly, I'm thankful to our county government for bringing our money home and prioritizing our local needs. That was a prudent decision, and we absolutely praise that. Now, there's been a lot said in the last few weeks, and I'm sure you all caught a
Point of order,
bit of
Mr.
that.
President. The speaker needs to address council.
Please address the council.
Sure. So there was a press release put out a few weeks ago by the Jewish Federation that alleged that there was vile anti-Semitic slurs directed at Jewish members of this meeting. Now, 90% of the people in this room were not here at that meeting. I was, and I can tell you for sure that did not happen. What did happen is there was an exchange between two members of the community in the crowd that was like a level 1 out of 10. There was no threats. There was nothing anti-Semitic. Someone was called smelly. And so what happened then is that the Jewish Federation put out a statement that the Cleveland Jewish News just transcribed. And then Senator Moreno sent a letter to the council, to Dale Miller, threatening to cut federal funding to the county. And so when we reflect on why is the county dealing with an uncertain fiscal situation, let's reflect on who we are making alliances with and what their true interests are. And let's unite and fight the actual Nazis and the actual KKK that are holding public events in Ohio.
Dale Snyder.
Hello, my name is Dale Snyder. First of all, I want to say thank you, County Council. Respect your position and the responsibilities that you have. I wanted to address a couple of issues. One of the things that I did want to address that I seen immediately before I get into the one issue I wanted to address was that they are allocating $80 million to the county to Lake County. And I'm not sure exactly what that's for. It did say something about energy, but I didn't have an immediate understanding of why $80 million is going out of Cuyahoga County into Lake County to support their workforce when there's a lot of work that needs to be supported and done in our county and has been needed to be done for several amount of years now. The next thing I wanted to address is the fact that we're still being bombarded by this divide and what's going on in the Gaza Strip. I understand it's not the panel's fault to the community at large. I understand that there is this terrible war that's going on. War is war. However, I don't think the resolution to the war can be fought in this panel or in this forum. I think that you need a federal forum to fight that. Whatever the bonds has been.
Please address the council.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't know the protocol.
Okay.
However, you can't address that issue of war in this forum. I know you're talking about the bond that is being invested in, the $16 million, and I get it. It's a concern. But we need to have our focus narrowed onto Cuyahoga County, okay? If there is some type of protocol, there's some type of way that you can stop that bond, fine, follow the procedure. Flooding the forum is not the way. Thank you.
Alex Zaruga.
Before we continue, if you would speak to Trevor McAleer after the public comment is done, he should be able to give you some information about the $8 million that you started out asking.
80.
About the 80 million.
Okay.
Yeah, he can explain that.
All right, thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Alex Zaruga. I'm a resident of the City of Cleveland and of Cuyahoga County. I appreciate that your talking points with the non-reinvestment in Israel bonds is that it's a non-political issue. But I think we've heard from several speakers in this room that it is not being taken that way. And I would ask for you to consider the political environment that your actions are taking place in. This decision does not happen in a vacuum. We have seen former advisors to President Trump give the Nazi salute at CPAC. We have seen a current senior advisor to the president, Elon Musk, and the current head of the so-called Department of Governmental Efficiency give that same salute. We have seen a incredibly popular musical artist, Kanye West, take out a Super Bowl ad to advertise a website that was selling one thing, which is T-shirts with a swastika on it. We see in the state of Ohio, neo-Nazis marching in the city of Columbus and in the suburbs of Cincinnati. This decision does not take place in a vacuum, and you can say that it's non-political, but I would ask for you to consider what you can do for the Jewish residents of this county in voicing your support for our community. Thank you for your time.
Jenna Mahudadine.
Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. My name is Jenna Muhiddin. I first want to say I am Palestinian. I'm from Akka. If y'all didn't know, my family was kicked out in 1948. And ever since then, my dad has immigrated, I think, 8 different countries because of war. So this is a very personal issue. It's not unrelated to Cuyahoga County because I am a Cuyahoga County resident. I also want to say we won. You can try to discredit it, say that it's not a political win, and you're right. It's not a political win. It's a humanitarian win. $3 million might have saved people's lives, dude. $3 million. We don't care that they're Jewish. Anti-Semitism is evil. I don't know why he mentioned all those Nazi things like it has anything to do with us. We hate that just as much. Anti-Semitism is a problem. And while we're appreciative that $3 million was not reinvested, we're disappointed and we won't give up because the racism and bigotry is still affecting black and brown people. Like Pastor Bunch that you just arrested again for the 3rd time. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves that this black man who has not hurt anyone has been brutally arrested multiple times. But the truth will always prevail. We will win. We will win. And I said it before, when there's 2 sides of pressure, one is going to crumble and somebody budged and it wasn't us. So we will win at the end. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا. When the victory of God has came and you see the people accepting the path of God in numbers. This path of God does not necessarily mean religion, but it means justice and peace and happiness, which Palestinians deserve and that they will be in, and that this $3 million might have saved them 2 lives, 3 lives, who knows? And like I said, it's a matter of time before Palestine as a whole will be free, and Cleveland will be free, and Cuyahoga County will be free, and racism and bigotry will be eliminated. We look these systems of oppression in their eyes and promise them we will overcome, and we will. We will win, we will be joyful, and we will smile the entire way. We will not be intimidated. And can I just say one more thing? How you guys did...
I'm sorry.
I just want to say...
I'm sorry, but your time is done. Yeah.
Andrea Doe.
Hello, I'm Andrea Doe. I did get quite passionate last time, but as promised, I take back the comments I made and said would like to thank you all, especially Turner and Hauser for meeting with us, and especially Chris Ronayne for making the right decision not to reinvest the $3 million in Israel bonds. However, the fight is not over. There are still $13 million invested. In a budget of over $1 billion, it may seem that $13 million is a drop of water in the ocean. However, it's not a matter of ratio, it's a matter of what those bonds represent. Those bonds represent an investment in what was the most broadcasted genocide of our time. They represent investment in a society rooted in segregation, which goes against American values. It seems that many here have grown tired of the mention of Palestine and Palestinians, but we must ask ourselves, how many years have we carried on ignoring how our actions directly or indirectly impacted them? Did we think about the Arab or Muslim world the numerous times we've put gas in our car or while filing our taxes? Did politicians think about Palestinians while taking contributions because that's just how you get ahead? No, we've spent decades living as Americans, not considering how our actions have contributed to bombs dropping on innocent civilians somewhere else. So consider this a make-up for lost time. In this immigrant nation, the far away is always near. Your families may have migrated here or were brought here further back, but regardless, our diverse set of backgrounds and experiences, all voicing support for Palestine, demonstrate that this is fundamentally a human issue. So my call to action is read, learn, and watch. Learn about Palestine and the Levant from independent news sources. Read the Trinity of Fundamentals, writings by Hassan Ghanafani. Watch how leaders like Malcolm X, Huey P. Newton, Assata Shakur all supported the Palestinian cause. This is just the beginning. Thank you.
Howard Grodell.
Hello, I'm Howard Grodell. I've been a resident of Cuyahoga County for 50 years. This is my first council meeting. I was motivated in part to come because I've been reading the stories about the controversial comments that have been made at the various meetings. And also I wanted to see governance at play. I haven't been to a county council meeting, so I thought I'd get a chance to see it in action. What I've heard tonight, probably mostly inappropriate for the kind of decisions I expect you to be making. I read the news story that was published with respect to the $2 million bond that's coming due and will not be renewed. And I'm assuming that the treasurer and the executive staff has made a decision that they felt was in the best interest of the county. I'm going to accept that. The county, I have no reason to believe that they weren't acting in their best interest. On the other hand, I take note of the very divisive atmosphere in which that decision is being made. And you are a political body, and your decisions have to be viewed in that light as well as the other aspects of that decision. So I look forward to the county continuing its commitment to the Israel bonds. It's not spending the money in Israel. Those are investments. Those are investments that are making money for this county and are being put to good use. And I assume that the county will continue to do so with the money they invest in Israel bonds and in other investments. Thank you.
Avram Jacobs.
Avram Jacobs from Beechwood. Some of you might remember that I was the final speaker at one of the county meetings a few months ago. Unfortunately, my remarks were interrupted and I was not given the opportunity to finish. First, I'd like to thank the council members and staff for your efforts to ensure my voice was heard. I'm especially grateful to the law enforcement officers here and would like to thank each and every one of you. I'd also like to highlight the irony that while many of the protesters here often claim that their free speech rights are infringed, they are the ones who blatantly broke and continue to break committee rules to silence others. Additionally, while many of the protesters here accuse supporters of Israel of lacking sympathy for Palestinian suffering, which we do not, these same individuals openly celebrate the largest mass murder of Jews since the Holocaust and continue to support Hamas, a terrorist organization whose stated mission is the extermination of Jews. Jews like Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir Bibas, who were kidnapped, and as forensics confirmed, 4-year-old Ariel and 9-month-old Kfir brutally murdered by Hamas with their bare hands. I wear this orange tie today to honor their memory. Initially, I planned to continue my previous remarks. However, I decided to pivot. Recently, several individuals have raised concerns about recidivism in our county. In response, I've been working to address this issue by securing employment for several through programs like Towards Employment and the Centers for Employment Opportunities, engaging with leaders from both organizations. To those who genuinely wish to improve our community, I invite you to partner with me in this effort. If you are interested, you can share your contact information with the clerk who can pass it along to me. Perhaps by seeing each other as partners, each of us created in the image of God, we can build relationships that lead to a more promising and peaceful future for us all. Thank you for your time.
LaRon Douglas.
Hello, Council. Thank you for having us today. My name is LaRon Douglas. I'm the Executive Director of the Renounce Denounce Gang Intervention Program, Violence Interrupters, Gang Specialist in the city of Cleveland. We have a 10-week intensive gang program. We deal with the gangs in the city of Cleveland, and also we have violence interrupters in the city. So a violence interrupter are people that intervenes in the cycles of violence in our community, our homes, and our schools.
So I just wanted to also add that we started the program in 2014, and we have graduated over 1,400 at-risk youth. And then also, I just wanted to just request that you have additional funding for community violence intervention organizations in the city of Cleveland. There are not many organizations that are actually doing the work that we do. We have 10 violence interrupters, full-time and part-time, so we are in need of additional funding. And then also, we would like to have an actual building from the county so that way we can have a place for the at-risk youth to actually go. Because right now, they don't have a lot of places to go. So we're also making that request as well. Thank you.
Bruce Mandel.
Hi, I'm Bruce Mandel. I'm a lifelong resident of Cuyahoga County. Good evening. I'm going to pivot a little to the gentleman a few speakers ago who said nothing happened a couple sessions ago. I was here. I was called a racist after I spoke before I could sit down. And when I tried to leave at the end of the meeting, I was told, this is a quote, "I can't wait till you die." At which time a sheriff's deputy stepped up and took me to my car. So I'm going to hope, as a few others have said, that one day, somehow, we can all live in peace and forge a relationship that is based on that. Let's deal with reality today. Those who have called this board and myself racist, incredulously here to celebrate the fact that Cuyahoga County public officials are having cash flow problems and are halting long-term investments. I hope you can rectify the issue, and I want to thank you for all the work you do for all of the citizens of Cuyahoga County. We also hope that you remain committed to reinvesting in Israel bonds and stand up to those who somehow celebrate the council's budget deficit and their hatred against Jews. The United States has one true ally in the Mideast, Israel. It is a bastion of freedom and economic opportunity for anyone who comes in peace. You should always remain proud to support Israel and to decry the mob of Israel and Jew haters. And one day, let's hope there can be peace. Thank you.
Daryl Houston. Daryl Houston. That's all right.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I see we're still here 18 months later talking about the same things. And as I promised, blacks were paying attention. And I told you guys I would start to bring people out of the community that's doing positive things in the community. You heard from Mr. Norm. You heard from Mr. Douglas. You heard from Mr. Snyder. And you're going to hear from a lot of other influential people that's invested in the community. Now, to the both parties that's sitting behind me, I noticed there's a guy homeless outside. You guys came in on a bus and walked straight by him. So where's the humanity at for that gentleman? To the Palestinian group, not all, but you serve a lot of illegal things, outdated things in our communities. We won't have that anymore. We're going to systematically, legally remove any entity in the city of Cleveland and Cayuga County that doesn't stand for Cayuga County. All of you stand for Cayuga County. All of these people behind me say they stand for Cayuga County, but I don't see anything from them, okay? Get more invested in humanity. Get more invested in everything as a whole instead of singling out your issues, because your issues is just one of a million issues that we are all faced with in the city of Cleveland, in Cayuga County, and in the state of Ohio, okay? And I'm asking everyone, the panel, the people behind me, to start paying attention to what matters, direct impact on your personal lives. That is what counts. Stop wasting real time and not getting real results with humanity issues going on within this county. I am sick and tired of coming down here and allowing certain people. Thank you. I won't do any further. Thank you, guys.
Joseph Jason.
Hello, my name is Joseph Jason. I'm a resident of Cuyahoga. I've lived here for about 7 years, transplanted from Illinois. I want to thank you for your prior support of investing in Israel bonds. Please continue the support. It's very important to me and many members of the community. I'm a child of Holocaust survivors. We had 10 members of our family who were killed during World War II, and we support Israel wholeheartedly. Supporting Israel is very important to me and members of the community. Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East, and they're an ally of the United States. Israel is a beacon to the world. Israel is a great investment. There's no better investment than Israel in the Middle East. They've never defaulted. And finally, the bottom line is Israel represents the good versus the evil in the world. Thank you for the time.
Kevin Besser. Kevin Besson. Samaria Rice.
Hi, how y'all doing, Council? I am Samaria Rice. I am the mother of Tamir Rice and the CEO and founder of the Tamir Rice Foundation. I am here to address the funding that's coming in this city and where it's going. I just briefly ran over this report, and I have some concerns of $80 million going to Painesville, Lake County, and other entities that does not serve our Cuyahoga County community. I know that you all are aware of the crisis with the youth and how they're dying by the minute. I would like to see more infrastructure in developing programs or sitting down with people like myself to find solutions to get the children off the street. Most of you all know that I have the Tamir Rice Afro Central Culture Center, which is located on 61st and St. Clair. I have talked to Ms. Turner, thank you, but I need more money. While y'all giving money everywhere else, the money needs to be right here in Cuyahoga County, which I have invested almost $500,000 of my own money, foundation money, in renovations for a building to do after-school programming for our children in the community. So I would like to see more money available for that and other things in the community. I talked about infrastructure and development, economic development with a few of you all earlier. I just want to see the city do better, the county do better in the infrastructure in the inner city. I just don't understand. Well, thank you. Okay.
Francois Jacobs.
Hi, thank you to the council for hearing us. I agree with so many people that spoke before, so I'm just going to piggyback on them. I do appreciate the fact that there are many, many, many issues in this county that we do need to deal with, that we do need to invest in. I think there's a little bit of confusion. Investing in Israel bonds does not take away from that. Investing in Israel bonds is an investment. So we do get money back from that, and we do hope that this council puts that money back into this county. We're not asking for you to give money to Israel. That's not the objective. The objective is an investment that's good for you that will then go back into our own county for homelessness, for recidivism, for helping people in Cuyahoga County, which is obviously the objective of this council. So we appreciate all of your help in this, and thank you so much.
Anita Gray.
Thank you. My name's Anita Gray, and for the past 76 years, I have been a resident of Cuyahoga County. In addition to that, a few years back, I had the honor of being the campaign director for the Health and Human Services issue for Cuyahoga County, and that's when I realized the length and breadth of what this county does in terms of helping people. It was an honor. But that's also why I'm saddened that we can't do more for people, as some of the previous speakers have said. Now, I know that you and us in the Jewish community have been called genociders, terrorists, racists. Unfortunately, County Executive Ronane's home was picketed, which actually was disgusting to me personally. But I also know that you are well aware of the wonderful investment that Israel Bonds is, because you have invested for so many years. And I know that when the time is right, you will go back and consider another investment as you have in the past in Israel Bonds. I also want to say one thing. One of the speakers before used the phrase, from the river to the sea. I want to be sure you understand what that means. From the river means the Jordan River. To the sea means the Mediterranean Sea. Therefore, there's no Israel. That's the land that Israel occupies. And I would hope that one day there would be two states for two peoples. But I want to be sure that you understand that phrase and what it means to Jews. Thank you.
Yotan Gilbert, please.
Thank you, members of the council. My name is Jonathan Gilbert. I'm a father, I'm a teacher, and I'm a rabbi. And as a rabbi, I want to apologize to the gentleman who spoke a few times before me because he felt that we didn't pay enough attention to a homeless man on our way to the county. And that is definitely against Jewish values, the other way around. I think one of the most important Jewish values that there are is caring for the other. And as such, we're here. We're trying to talk to you and say we believe in the Israel bonds because we know this is a sound investment for the county and something that can later be used for the best interest of the county and its residents. Going maybe a little bit beyond that, I have to say that I was a little bit bored with the former meetings, and I stopped coming after the summer. And then hearing that there was a change in your decision, it did bring me back. Not because I doubt that your decision is a financial decision, and as such, I respect your call. However, I am very worried that this is being understood by some people as you being able to be bullied. And this is a terrible thing, because if that is the message that comes out from this meeting, that is a terrible lesson for the future. It means you can be bullied by someone who calls genocides the people who are there trying to do the best for the order of the world. So if that is the message, I am very sorry. We have to stop that. Even for that reason, makes sense to reinvest in Israel bonds. And finally, I do want to call to the cynical response of those who cannot come here and say openly, we condemn Hamas, who we saw how last week they murdered brutally those little kids, Ariel and Kfir, 4 and 1 year old. They were murdered with their bare hands. They were strangled. And if they cannot come here and say that openly, this is very wrong.
Howard Davis.
Good afternoon. My name is Howard Davis, a lifelong county resident. And first of all, I wanted to thank you for all the work you do on behalf of the county, making it an attractive and diverse place to live. There are a few lies and false claims that are spewed here regularly that I wanted to address. Genocide claims. The unfortunate civilian deaths in Gaza as a result of Hamas firing rockets and mortars at Israel from mosques, homes, apartment buildings, hospitals, and schools. According to John Spencer, the world's leading expert on urban warfare, and Colonel Richard Kemp, the former commander of British forces in Afghanistan, Israel has the lowest ratio of civilian to combatant deaths in the history of urban warfare. While every death is a tragedy, genocide is not taking place. Moral equivalency. Israel released, among other terrorists, the man responsible for the 2003 bombing of Cafe Hillel in Jerusalem that killed 7, including former Cleveland emergency room doctor David Applebaum and his daughter Nava, who was to be married the next day. He was traded for the body of an innocent 4-year-old boy savagely beaten to death. The planner of suicide bombings that killed 16 Israelis and injured over 100 was part of the exchange for the mutilated remains of a 10-month-old infant. Jews and the rest of the civilized world mourn while Hamas and their supporters celebrate. The last lie is Israel was created and populated by European colonialists. That ignores the 700,000 Jews forced to flee Arab lands with the creation of the Jewish state of Israel. But let's go back further to some earlier Zionists. Abraham lived in Beersheba and purchased land in Hebron. Isaac, his son, never left Israel. Jacob, his son, lived in Hebron, and his dying wish was to be buried with his forefathers. Moses' life mission was to lead the freed Israelite slaves back to their home in Canaan, now the modern state of Israel. King David ruled in Hebron and Jerusalem. His son also ruled in Jerusalem. Jesus was a Zionist as well and lived in Bethlehem. Thank you.
Michelle Levine.
Hello, I'm Michelle Levine, a Cuyahoga County resident. Thank you to County Council and everyone from the Sheriff's Department for the hard work you do. I would like to express my concerns and disappointment that those who have hurled verbal assaults at you and us are here to celebrate the fact that our county is facing cash flow issues and as a result are needing to freeze all long-term investments. These are not lies. I think you've all witnessed having verbal assaults thrown at you, and it's also been captured on video. Unfortunately, many pro-Palestinian terrorist supporters have not demonstrated that they're here for the good of the community. Hate really reared its ugly head when Case Western Reserve University had to spend $400,000 to clean up and make repairs due to horrific vandalism. Instead of the $400,000 that could have been used for the benefit of the university or to help with the county's cash flow issues by not having to spend money unnecessarily for legal expenses, that would have been a better use of the $400,000. The Israeli bond investments are not a donation, not a charity. They are for a financial return to help with the programs that many of the people here have mentioned, to help with homelessness and other humanitarian aid. So I would like to ask you to please reinvest in Israeli bonds as soon as possible, as their investment helps to achieve the county's goals instead of taking away from them. Thank you.
Tyler Golias.
I'm Tyler Golias from North Olmsted. Mr. Kelly's my representative. A few weeks ago, I was up here and I brought up the notion that if you guys got the county to not reinvest into Israel bonds, maybe the bond supporters wouldn't be so nice to you anymore. And I made y'all a promise that day. A promise that I would brown nose the living crap out of y'all. A promise that I'd do tricks on it, and I'm a man of my word. So thank you so very, very much. Bless your hearts. You're up there doing God's work. Keep on keeping on. Perhaps you realize that Israel was investing that money into Israel was investing that money into was not ethical, that the money could be used to support the people struggling in this county rather than being spent to kill struggling people in another country. Maybe you realized you could get better than a 3% return from many other investment sources. Maybe you realized that you simply needed to cash out to cover the county's deficit. Regardless of why you made the decision, it's a step in the right direction. I hope y'all stand strong and ensure the decision against foreign bonds doesn't get reversed. But now that you've decided not to reinvest, let's increase our support for the people who are struggling here in our county. Let's resist the real anti-Semitism in this country, Elon and Trump. Let's resist the gutting of our federal social systems in assistance to those who get cut off. Keep Cuyahoga County taxpayer money in Cuyahoga County. Drop the charges against Reverend Bunch and free Palestine.
Stuart Unsdorfer.
Hello, I'm Stuart Unsdorfer. I was born and raised in Cuyahoga County for at least 40 years. I live in Geauga County now. And I wanted to say that ask the supporters of the Gazans, when they, if any more come up here and speak, that they would condemn what's happened on October 7th, 2023, that they condemn the continuing holding of hostages and torturing them, which has been obvious with the release of the ones that have, and condemn what happened to the Bibas babies, strangled with their bare hands. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
That concludes the public comment portion for today's meeting.
The next item on the agenda.
Mr. President?
Yes.
I would like to make a comment.
You may do so.
I need to say, we've sat here for over a year, and we've been listening to public comment quietly and with sympathy and empathy. However, at this point in time, everybody today has addressed this council as if we made the decisions about investing or not investing and not renewing. The decision was made by the treasurer of this county. The treasurer is part of the administration. This was not a council decision. So when everybody stands up here and makes comments as if we, as a council body of 11, made the decision not to renew, it wasn't us. If you read the letter, this came from Mr. Cromer, the treasurer, who is in part of the administration. So I would ask you, if you have frustration on either side about the future, about the past, about the current set of facts, to please direct that to the treasurer and the administration. I understand we're the only body in which you can stand up for an hour and express yourselves openly. We value that, open speech, free speech. But I've got to set the record straight. And it's time that we, sitting here, have to say, we did not make any of these decisions. This came from the treasurer, if you read the letter. Thank you, Mr. President.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Do I have a motion relative to?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, and the minutes are approved, and we will stand in recess for just a moment to allow those who wish to leave at this time to do so.
Yeah, I was just.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Okay, thank you. Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Hi. Richie, come down for something?
Debbie Berry in the house.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yes, especially.
I'd like to be referred to as chairman.
The council will come back to order. The next item on the agenda is announcements from the council president and City of Cleveland. Councilman Richard Starr has asked to say a few words regarding resolution number 2025-0093 relating to the demolition of the old juvenile court complex.
All right. Good evening, County Council. How y'all doing today?
All right.
Good. First, I would like to say thank you, Council President, for giving me this opportunity to speak to you all. Major shout out to happy birthday, Councilwoman. Ms. Turner, happy birthday. Major shout out to my county Councilman Pernell Jones, and then my four horsemen brother, Councilman Michael J. Hauser, and all the entire council. And can't forget Councilman Sweeney for all the work that you have done throughout the years. Once a councilman, always a councilman. One of the things I just wanted to come here and say thank you. For the last 3 years, I've been working to figure out what we need to do as far as bringing great opportunities and development to Ward 5. I grew up in Ward 5 for over 36 years, and once in 2010, when the old juvenile court building on East 22nd Street closed, it became a problem. When we know in this public eye, when you serving on council, everyone call you about every property that the county or the city owns, and we just don't have enough resources to always keep things up. So one of the things that we're looking to, I want to say thank you for looking into this, accepting this potential $6.8 million grant to be able to do some demolition of that building. But when you think about demolition, that is an opportunity for development. And when you look at the area, when that building was built in 1931, you start to think about what was built right next to it in 1937, which is Cedar Estates Public Housing. I've been working with CMHA, and they're looking to do some additional development, so they will be coming to the county to see about potential land swap, different opportunities. But overall, on East 22nd Street, we have a different ODOT project that we're working with to be able to revitalize the bridge and connectivity for downtown and make it more safer for the neighborhood. So I do support you on this initiative. Thank you for being colleagues. Thank you for being partners. And I look forward to this opportunity. And major shout out to Councilwoman Yvonne Conwell. Thank you so much, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And also under my comments regarding the $80 million for the city of Paynesville, the city of Cleveland, Cuyahoga County, and the city of Paynesville combined together to apply to the federal government, and we received a $139 million grant, which relating primarily to solar energy and includes conversion of an old coal-fired power plant into solar energy. And so no county money is going into this. This is federal grant money. That money is on hold from the Trump administration, so we hope we're actually going to be able to do it, but that's the story on that item. And we'll now go to messages from the representative of the county executive.
Thank you, Mr. President. No messages this evening. Thank you.
Legislation introduced by council. Consideration of resolutions of council for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2025-0081, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the Black Environmental Leaders Association that for the Jacqueline E. Gillian Annual Scholarship Celebration from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Refer to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee.
Resolution 2025-0082, awarding a community development grant award in the amount not to exceed $300,000 to JSAACC LLC for the creation of the Africa Town Plaza Art and Cultural Center located at the former YMCA Cedar Branch, located at 7515 Cedar Avenue in the city of Cleveland, Ohio.
Refer to the Community Development and Housing Committee. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions of council for second reading. Each of the items, after being read into the record, will move to the March 11th, 2025 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2024-0435, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the NAMIC Northern Ohio chapter for the Rosie's Girls Summer Program from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund. Resolution 2025-0005, awarding a total sum not to exceed $15,000 to the Old Brooklyn Community Development Corporation for the RIP City Boxing Program from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund. Resolution 2025-0015, awarding a total sum not to exceed $15,000 to ACE Mentor Program of Cleveland for the Career Pathway Program with project-based learning opportunities from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund. Resolution 2025-0048, making an award to the Cleveland Cuyahoga County Workforce Development Board in the amount of $500,000 from the Cuyahoga County Educational Assistance Fund for Component 1 of the Cuyahoga County Educational Assistance Program for the period ending December 31st, 2025. Resolution 2025-0070, awarding a total sum not to exceed $25,000 to the Western Reserve Land Conservancy for the purpose of Herman Park Trail Project from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Consideration of resolutions of council for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2025-0002, awarding a total sum not to exceed $9,890 to the City of North Olmsted for the purchase of a backup generator for the Ox Cart Food Pantry from the District 1 and District 3 ARPA Community Grant Funds.
Adopt.
Second.
I would like to turn this over to the sponsor.
Thank you. Mr. President and my colleagues, this item was heard in the Health and Human Services Committee on January 22nd. The award will go towards the purchase of a backup generator to the North Olmsted Ox Cart Food Pantry. As a standalone building, the pantry has no backup system in the case of a power outage. The purchase will allow the pantry staff to preserve food for families in need and to prevent food loss and to adequately serve those who need these critical services. I would like to thank my colleague, Councilman Sweeney, for supporting this vital service to the residents of North Olmsted, and I ask for my colleague's support.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2025-0045, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People for the Changing the Narrative on Youth Justice and Violence Prevention Project from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
These requested funds will be used to host a series of youth and juvenile justice forums to raise awareness and identify ways to prevent youth incarceration. The forums provide an opportunity to connect the community with resources available for incarcerated youth and youth at risk for incarceration. I ask for your support of this item.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2025-0046, awarding a total sum not to exceed $15,000 to the Western Reserve Ohio Chapter, the Links Foundation, Incorporated, for the purpose of the Community Baby Shower Project from the District 3 and District 9 ARPA Community Grant Funds.
To adopt.
Second.
I'd like to turn it over to both sponsors. I don't know who led it. These requested funds will fund the third annual baby shower in the central community that provides diapers and other much-needed baby hygiene products such as baby wipes, soap, and lotion. The event also provides car seats and postpartum products for new mothers. The event has been well attended and appreciated by the central community's residents. And Councilman, would you like to say anything?
I want to thank you for bringing it to our attention, and the presentation that was given to us moved me, and it was the opportunity to share my thoughts and support it, and I'm asking my colleagues to join me in that effort. So thank you.
Thank you. Join us.
All those in favor of adoption say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2025-0047, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County Non-Bargaining Classification Plan.
Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Second. This was heard in the HR committee. Albert presented it to us. It passed unanimously, and I asked my colleagues to support it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2025-0049, reappointing Deborah Sotherington to serve on the Cuyahoga County Personnel Review Commission for the term March 8th, 2025 to March 7th, 2031.
So moved.
Second.
I just want to let everybody know that I've known Deb Sotherington for a very long time. She worked with me at the city, and she does a great job, and she was thoroughly reviewed in our committee, and she was passed unanimously, so I asked my colleagues to support her renomination or reappointment. Thank you.
Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted. Consideration of an ordinance of council for third reading adoption.
Ordinance 2025-0002, enacting Section 802.6 of the Cuyahoga County Code to require economic development proposals submitted to County Council for approval to include and incorporate essential deal terms.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Simon?
Thank you. Thank you. This ordinance was introduced by me to ensure that any changes to economic development loans the county is considering and approved by council, if there's changes that are material, that those changes would have to go back to the investment board to review and then come back to council to let us know whether the changes would protect taxpayers. So it's a new level of oversight, and I ask for your support.
So I would like to thank Ms. Simon and her leadership in bringing forward this significant process improvement. Any further discussion? Yes.
I have my name added.
Please add Councilwoman Conwell's name.
And Turner.
And Turner.
Mine as well. Jones.
Why not Sweeney?
Gallagher.
I'll have my name added as well.
Kelly.
Kelly. Okay. Okay, hearing no further discussion, all those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ordinance is adopted. Legislation introduced by executive, consideration of a resolution for first reading adoption under suspension of the rules. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules regarding referral to committee and 3 readings?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The rules are suspended.
Resolution 2025-0083, amending the 2024-2025 biennial operating budget for 2025 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations, appropriation transfers, and cash transfers.
Move to adopt.
Second.
The resolution amends the 2024-2025 biennial operating budget to reflect necessary funding adjustments, including appropriation increases and decreases to support the operational needs of various county departments. Most of the items are routine, but does include the following. Several significant grants are on the agenda, including $900,000 for the Environmental Justice Government to Government Solar for Schools initiative, $400,000 for the Cuyahoga County Adult Drug Court Expansion Project, and $345,109 for the Emergency Solution Grants, or ESG, to support housing services. Cash transfers for county initiatives, including $1.2 million from the Sanitary Engineer Enterprise Fund to cover debt payments for maintenance facility renovations, and a $3.4 million transfer from Health and Human Services levy funds to the Adams Board for Mental Health and Addiction Services. I ask for my colleagues' support.
Further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2025-0084, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Tanisha Warren to represent Cuyahoga County on the Child Abuse and Child Neglect Regional Prevention Council for the Great Lakes region for the term January 24th, 2025 through January 23rd, 2027.
Refer to the Human Resources, Appointments, and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2025-0085, confirming the county executive's reappointment of the Honorable Judge Donna Conjenny Fitzsimmons to serve on the Cuyahoga County Diversion Board for the term March 1st, 2025 through February 29th, 2028.
Refer to Human Resources.
Mr. President, please add my name to that one.
Please add Councilman Kelly's name.
Resolution 2025-0086, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Chief Dorothy A. Todd to serve on the Cuyahoga County Diversion Board for the term March 1st, 2025 through February 29th, 2028.
Refer to Human Resources.
Resolution 2025-0087, confirming the county executive's appointment of Xiomara Merced to serve on the Cuyahoga Regional HIV Prevention and Care Planning Council for the term February 1st, 2025 through January 31st, 2028.
Refer to Human Resources.
Resolution 2025-0088, confirming the county executive's appointment of Sahara Rivera to serve on the Cuyahoga Regional HIV Prevention and Care Planning Council for the term April 1st, 2025 through March 31st, 2028.
Refer to Human Resources.
Resolution 2025-0089, confirming the county executive's appointment of Adam G. Jacobs to serve on the Metro Health System Board of Trustees for the term March 6, 2024 through March 5th, 2030.
Refer to Human Resources.
Mr. President, I'd like to add my name.
Please add Councilwoman Simon's name.
Resolution 2025-0090, confirming the designation of Christopher Alvarado to serve as the alternate to Sarah Parks Jackson on the Cuyahoga County Tax Incentive Review Council for the term ending December 31st, 2026.
Refer to Human Resources.
Resolution 2025-0091, confirming the designation of Joseph A. Balbier to serve as an alternate to Greg Huth on the Cuyahoga County Tax Incentive Review Council for the term ending December 31st, 2026.
Also to Human Resources.
Resolution 2025-0092, confirming the designation of Mary Serby to serve as the alternate to Susan Infeld on the Cuyahoga County Tax Incentive Review Council for the term ending December 31st, 2026.
Also to Human Resources.
Resolution 2025-0093, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Cold Harbor Building Company for hazardous material abatement at the Old Juvenile Court Complex to expand the scope of services to include demolition in accordance with the Ohio Brownfield Remediation Program Grant Award and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $6,810,362.
Time to start spreading things around. Refer to Public Works, Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2025-0094, authorizing a subgrant agreement with the City of Painesville in the amount not to exceed $80,665,500 to implement clean energy and nature-based solutions approved as part of the EPA Climate Pollution Reduction Grant. Work plan for installation of a large solar array and battery system, including brownfield reforestation work for the period October 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2029.
Refer to Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee.
Resolution 2025-0095, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Young Women's Christian Association of Greater Cleveland, Ohio, doing business as YWCA Greater Cleveland, for operation and case management services at the Norma Herr and Walton Road Women's Shelters for the period January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2024, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2025, to amend the terms and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $2,536,793, effective January 1st, 2025.
Refer to Health, Human Services, and Aging Committee.
Resolution 2025-0096, amending the 2024-2025 biennial operating budget for 2025 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations, appropriation transfers, and cash transfers.
This is the gateway legislation, and we're going to refer to the Committee of the Whole. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading.
Resolution 2025-0063, authorizing a subgrant agreement with Manufacturing Works in the amount not to exceed $2 million to carry out workforce ecosystem capacity building and coordination and develop renewable energy-related pre-apprenticeship programs and outreach for the period October 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2029.
This item will move to the March 11th, 2025 Council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2025-0074, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various providers for on-call heavy construction services on a task order basis for various road and bridge maintenance and repair services for the period March 1st, 2023 through February 28th, 2026, for additional funds in the total amount not to exceed $1,500,000 for items A through D.
This item will also move to the March 11, 2025 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The rules are suspended.
Resolution 2025-0069, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various providers for Medicaid home and community-based services for out-of-home placement and foster care services for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2024, to extend the time period to March 31st, 2026, to add new providers and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $83,877,274.99, effective January 1st, 2025, for various providers 1 through 73 and 1 through 2.
Move to adopt. Mr. President, I'd like to just say thank you to the committee for doing your due diligence. Thank you to the administration, Department of Children and Family Services for giving the requested items to the Health and Human Services Committee so we could feel or see the plan of correction or no plan of correction, whatever, in terms of keeping our children safe. And so it is our due diligence to do oversight. So we thank you for bearing with us through this process, and we're in support of this.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Councilman Sweeney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to give the credit and thanks to the chairwoman because she's thanking everybody else. But this is a significant piece of legislation that takes care of the kids of Cuyahoga County. And she focused on it. She held it. She worked it. And she recommended to us, and it passed this way. So she gets the shout out from my perspective. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Council President, may I have clarification who seconded the motion, please?
I did. Slupper did.
Thank you.
I just wanted to get it. I'm trying to help.
We now move to page 16.
Resolution 2025-0075, making an award on requisition 15387 to Katz Construction, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $1,163,640.65 for resurfacing and associated pavement repair of 0.60 miles of Wilson Mills Road from Richmond Road to the Eastern Corporation line in the city of Richmond Heights, effective upon contract signature of all parties through the project's completion.
Move to adopt.
Second.
This contract was, resolution was vetted in council. It was awarded to an SBE, a local SBE, and they came in $300,000 under budget. So I ask for my colleagues' support.
Mr. President, I'd like to add my name.
Please add Councilwoman Simon's name.
Mr. President, add my name as well, please.
Castleberry as well. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2025-0076, making an award on requisition 15388 to Shermer Construction, LLC, in the amount not to exceed $2,586,786 for a replacement of Shaft Road, Bridge number 02.89 over West Creek in the City of Independence, effective upon signatures of all parties through the project's completion.
Move to adopt.
Second.
This item also was fully vetted in committee. It was also awarded to a small business enterprise, and they came in 4% under their budget. So and this project will be completed in early fall. So again, I ask for my colleagues' support.
Any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman, can you add my name to that as well, please?
Please add the councilman's name.
My name as well, Mr. Chairman, please.
Thank you. Councilman Schlepper as well. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2025-0078, authorizing a contract with Root Integrated Systems, LLC, in the amount not to exceed $1,179,260.50 for service, maintenance, support, and hardware coverage on audio-visual conference room systems in various rooms throughout Cuyahoga County buildings for the period January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2027.
I'll move to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion?
No discussion.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2025-0079, authorizing a purchase order to Caremark PCS Health, LLC, in the amount not to exceed $1,868,943.48 as final payment for December 2024 for pharmacy benefit management services for county employees and their eligible dependents and Cuyahoga County Benefits Regionalization Program participants, rendered under contract number 1978 during the contract term of January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
This is our prescription drug contract. It's the final payment, as it says in the legislation. It was heard and presented well by the folks in HR, and I ask my colleagues to support it.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2025-0080, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Mental Health Services for Homeless Persons, Inc., doing business as Frontline Service for temporary housing for single adults and youth at North Point Transitional Housing, located at 1550 Superior Avenue in the city of Cleveland, for the period January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2024, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2025, to amend the terms and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,422,933, effective January 1st, 2025.
Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion?
No, this matter, I'll just speak, was heard in committee and ask for your support.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted. Consideration of a resolution for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2025-0064, authorizing an economic development loan in the amount not to exceed $2 million to 2168 West 25th Street, LLC, or its designee, for the redevelopment of the former Roush and Lang Carriage Company building, and it's located at 2168 West 26th Street in the city of Cleveland.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President and my colleagues, this item was heard at the February 3rd Economic Development and Planning Committee meeting. The Department of Development came before the committee to present a loan package in the amount of $2 million to the Carriage Company redevelopment project. The developer, MRN, will create a mixed-use space that will anchor the southern end of West 25th Street and will connect Tremont to Ohio City. The 230,000 square foot historic property will create 20 new full-time jobs and relocate 25 existing jobs. This support will preserve this historic building as a community asset for years to come. I ask for my colleagues' support.
Any further discussion?
Just like my name added.
Please add Councilwoman Conwell's name.
And Turner.
And Turner. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The resolution is adopted. Committee report and consideration of an ordinance for second reading.
Ordinance 2024-0005, amending Chapter 501 of the Cuyahoga County Code.
This item will move to the March 11th, 2025 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Miscellaneous committee reports. We'll start with Councilperson Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. President. Economic Development will meet Monday, March 3rd, 3 p.m. for 2025-0044.
HR will meet its normal scheduled time.
Safety, after I talk to Janine, I'll get back to you.
Council Operations does not have a meeting scheduled at this time, but we should have one in the next few weeks.
Health and Human Services will be Wednesday, March 1st at 1 o'clock.
Public Works will meet Wednesday, March 5th for to deal with the item referred today. Did you say 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock.
Okay. The resolution amending the biennial operating budget for 2025 was referred to the Committee of the Whole, so Finance and Budgeting does not have a meeting at this time.
Community Development will be meeting this Monday, March 3rd at 9:30.
Education and Environment, March 5th at 3 p.m. to hear the items referred today, and I think a couple stragglers.
Thank you very much for the committee reports. Is there anything under miscellaneous business?
Yeah, Mr. President, what I wanted to say, we heard from two speakers about the resolution that's going to be sent to the committee on March 5th, the Environment Education Committee, about the money going to Paynesville. Just for clarification for those who care and cannot attend the committee meeting, this is a huge federal grant that came through the EPA, which the grant was, the county applied with a collaborative grant with the city of Paynesville, so it's a collaboration that they both put together. It's a huge grant, and we're really proud and honored to have this, and it's a collaborative effort, and we are administering the money. So that's why there's money flowing to Paynesville, and it's an amazing project. We hope the money sticks. It disappeared out of the account last week when the federal, Trump administration froze everything. The money disappeared, then it reappeared, then it's left, and now it's sitting there again. So we're hoping this project is transformational. It's training people to install solar panels. It is it's an amazing decommissioning a coal plant in Paynesville, planting trees, reclamating a brownfield. So it's a huge, one of the largest EPA grants that went out under the last administration.
Thank you for that report. Is there anything else? Hearing none, we stand adjourned. Thanks.